Welcome back to another week, another math video. Today we are talking about a new topic, but before we do, of course, we've got a joke. What joke am I going to say today? Why do math teachers love grid paper? Right, I'll show you. I'm using grid paper right now. Why do math teachers love grid paper? It's because they're always plotting something. Okay, enough about that. So today we have finished talking about ratios, and today we're going to talk about rates. That means we're almost finished this topic, so well done. This topic of rates, let's just do a quick recap, right? Ratios are comparisons of quantities of the same kind, right? $1 to $5, or 10 centimeters to 12 centimeters, or for every 2 parts here, I have 7 parts there. They're all of the same kind. Rates are a little bit different. Rates are comparisons of quantities of different kinds. So what that means is we need units. What I mean by different kinds is, say, for example, I might have dollars per hour. Now, dollar is a currency, it's money, and hour is time. Or I could do kilometers per hour. So that is a distance, and then the other unit is time. So see how there's different units, or what would be another common one? Um, Dollars per centimeter squared. So again, it's a measurement of area and a measurement of currency that's being compared here. So we're comparing two different kinds of currencies. Now, really quick, let's just talk about how we express certain examples as rates. Now, these are probably some of your most common things that you see if you ever go to a petrol station. How do they charge you? They charge you in dollars per liter. All right, if you travel from Sydney to Canberra, that's roughly around 300 kilometers, and it takes you about 3 hours. Well, we find out that okay, I'm probably going around 100 kilometers per hour. So these are very, very useful, and I'm just going to show you how to deal with some of these questions here. Sure, let's use black. Oh, yeah, we'll use black. Okay, now it says here, express each of the following as a rate. Right now we've got here a car travels 420 kilometers in 3.5 hours. So for a question like this, the easiest way to do something as a rate is we talk about this slash, or in other words, it's going to be 420 kilometers per 3.5 hours. That's what it's really saying. Now, technically, that's a rate, but it's not our most simplified rate, right? And we don't want to write per, we just want to do this forward slash. So you remember how in ratios we have the two dots? Well, now we're going to have a slash. So if we have 420 kilometers per 3.5 hours, the most simplified rate we can have is not per 3.5 hours, but just per 1 hour, right? There's an invisible one that I don't have to write here, okay? Per hour. Now, how did I get from 3.5 to 1? Well, I divided by 3.5. So if I divide 420 by 3.5, I divide it, what I should get is 120 kilometers per hour. So to write it a little bit cleaner, a little bit nicer, I'll just write it like this. 120 kilometers per hour. That is the rate that we travel if we travel 420 kilometers in 3.5 hours. Okay, hopefully that's making a little bit of sense. Please let me know in the comments if that doesn't make sense. Okay, so if we look at the next question here, Colin gets paid $71.25 for working 9.5 hours. So if I was to write this as a rate, it's $71.75, or 71.25. So $71.25 per 9.5 hours. Okay, now notice I'm keeping my units here. I'm keeping my units as I'm doing these questions. Now, I don't want to find out, the simplest way is not to say 9.5 hours, but I just want to find out my dollar per hour rate. So similar to before, I divided it by whatever number of hours I had. So in this case, I'm dividing it by 9.5. And so guess what I'm going to do to the other side? I'm also going to divide it by 9.5. Now, if I go 71.25 divided by 9.5, what you should get is $7.25. Right, so we find here that his rate that he's earning per hour is $7.50 per hour. And just keep in mind here, both of these ones here, I have kept my units. And the key thing to note is the most simple rate you can get is when you only have 1 hour or one, whatever it is, it's 1 unit's worth, right? It's not 5 hours, it's not 2 hours, it's just per 1 hour. Or sometimes it'll be per $1, or sometimes it'll be per kilometer. Just reading the question, you'll kind of know which one to do, but just keep in mind your second term is you only want 1 unit of that. Okay, so that is that. And also just remember, as we start to work with more and more different units, just remember that $1 is how many cents? Hopefully you guys know this. It's 100 cents. And if I'm talking about 1 hour, that's 60 minutes. And probably another one that might be useful, not for the work you'll do today, but useful for life. If I said that there's 1 minute, how many seconds is that? It's 60 seconds. Okay. So I hope that helps. And that's it for today. I'll see you guys later. Enjoy.